Hi everyone. Hope you're all doing good. Okay, so this is the sixth round draw for the 30th edition of the Tapology Lucky Bastard Game. Last week we had four people left in it, and this week we still have four people left in it, as the wheel has failed to eliminate anyone last week. So just to go over those names again. Still in the competition are C. Collins 44, D1, D4, K10, Foghorn Sam, and our German alliance Uber Industry. So that's those four having another crack at it. And for this week, we're going to see if this card can shape him up a little bit more, or slice him down a bit more, or at least get rid of one of them anyway. But anyway, this week, UFC Fight Night, Tatsuro Terra versus Hyun Sung Park. And that's a interesting fight flyweight. And so we got Tatsuro Terra coming off a loss against a very close fight against Brandon Royval. And but again, that wasn't a bad fight, and it was one of those. Even though he that was his first loss of his career, he definitely established himself as a force in the flyweight division with it. Um, and again, it was a very close one. It was a split decision, so it could have been read the other way. Um, but he shows he belongs in the UFC with that performance for sure. And Hyung Sung Park, on the other hand, 10-0, 3-0 in the UFC. Um, again, it looks promising. A very good prospect. My only thought is that this is maybe just a little bit too soon for him this fight. I think Terra's a bit too. It's not much in it in terms of fights. Seven fights more, but significant enough. And Terra's proves his ability is. If we say Terra's ability is pretty much the same level as Brandon Royval, then yeah, it's. I think it's going to be too much for Young Sung Park. Um, as for how it's going to go down, I say Terra's much more aggressive, and I'd say probably more well-rounded as well. Whereas Pyeongchang Park's more he more prefers subs, but again he's very aggressive as well. All of his fights in the UFC so far have been finishes. So two very aggressive fighters, and one of the fights that really helped to break the myth of the lighter weight classes being boring. So we're going to get an entertaining one for sure. I've gone with Tatsuro Terra for a second round knockout personally. But either way, I would be surprised if this goes the distance. But anyway, you're not here to listen to my rambling. You're here to see who you're all going to get paired with in this round. So, without further ado, let's get started. First up to face the wheel again is C. Collins 44. Let's see how he gets on. And he gets Rodolfo Vieira. Rodolfo Vieira there for C. Collins 44. And obviously his main threat is going to be submissions, obviously. Usually a first round submission, if that. And that's what I've gone for. I've gone for a first round sub for him against Trey Sean Gore. And the only thing with Vera is that he can gas out quite easily. Um, he has had a few problems with his cardio in the past, but is Trey Sean Gore going to pose too much resistance against it? I don't think so. I think Vera should be able to overwhelm him quite easily. Far more experienced and much better record than Trey Sean is. Um, so it's yeah, first round sub for me. And I mean, Trey Sean, sure, he's good to be. He's shown himself to be good on the ground as well in his defense, but not as good as someone like Vieira, who's done quite a lot of other Brazilian jiu-jitsu outside of the UFC, of course. But I think that's quite a safe pick, and I'd expect C Collins 44 to go through with that one. So Will's off to a generous start. Um, Anyone that do make it through, they're going to make it to a seventh round, of course. I think we've been there once before, off the top of my head, but in any case, I can see Collins 44 making it to the seventh. Okay, D1, D4, K10 next to Learn His Fate, and he gets Carol Rosa. Carol Rosa for D1, D4, K10. And up against Nora Cannell. I've got Rosa to win by decision as well. She's been a bit inconsistent lately with sort of her last five going loss, win, loss, win, loss, but by far more experienced compared to Nora Cannell. Uh, Rosa, of course, being 18 and 7, Nora being 9 and 2. Um, I think that, like I say, it's just going to come down to experience, and I can see Rosa grinding out the win. And Cannell, more of a striker. She looks good. Looks like a good prospect. Definitely will be causing some problems in the bantamweight division in the future. Especially I mean, especially given how, let's be honest, how shallow the bantamweight women's bantamweight division is. Uh, but at the moment, again, similar to what I said in the intro about the first fight, I think it's just a bit too soon for Nora, as it's too soon for Park against Terra. But I think, yeah, despite the inconsistency, I think Rose is going to just edge it out on experience. I'd expect a unanimous decision, but in any case, that's another one I'm reasonably confident in, and probably more confident in Vieira than I am Carol Rosa. But I would expect both of them to win. So yeah, two down and two to go, and I'm reasonably confident our first two are going to be going through anyway. Okay, so Foghorn Sam next to see what the wheel's got in store for him. Who's he going to be rooting for tomorrow night? And he gets Rinya Nakamura. Rinya Nakamura for Foghorn Sam. Again, another one that I've picked. Much closer fight, in my opinion, though, against Nathan Fletcher. Probably the closest fight that's come up tonight. Um, he's lost in his last fight, but he's still 3-1 in the UFC. That was only his first loss in the UFC. And with someone, uh, like I say, with someone of his knockout power, he's always got a good chance. Um, For some reason, the bookmakers actually have him as a very heavy favourite, minus 430 when I last checked. I don't know why, to be honest. I think this is a closer fight than that. He should be the favourite, but I think that's I don't understand how they come to making odds like that, but it's but I think Nathan Fletcher's definitely got more of a chance than the odds imply, in my opinion. He's a good submission threat. Um, he's not exactly set the UFC alight so far, 1-1, but he's, I say again, good prospects. And even then, he had a good run in Cage Warriors, so he's yeah. I'd expect Nakamura to win by third round knockout, but um, simply because I feel like he just possesses more of a striking threat, more power, and I think that's in this striker versus grappler matchup. I suppose it's I'm going with the striker, but so yeah, that's so far three down, and I all three I reckon are going to win. So could we be looking at a repeat of last week where all four go through? It's possible. Let's see what happens with Uber Industry. Let's see if the German alliance can hold up for yet another week. And he gets Austin Bashi. Austin Bashi there for uh, Uber Industry. Uh, And again, another one I've gone for, and quite frankly, I would say the one that I'm most confident in, certainly the one the bookies are most confident in at -650. I've gone with him for a first round submission. Um, he lost his UFC debut, which was his last fight, but he has but again, that was his first loss of his career. And the UFC obviously still think he's a prospect because they've brought in John Yanis as his opponent, who, making his UFC debut, he's basically fought for Fury FC for his whole career, which is a decent regional promotion. It's probably for the American regional ones. I mean, yeah, sure, you've got LFA, obviously probably the next biggest American one after. I'm assuming if you write Bellator off as being completely dead by now, anyway. Obviously, PFL, they're going all over the world, so I don't even know if they're American anymore. But yeah, then it's CFFC, and then it's after that I'll probably have Fury. But so decent regional, but it's you do get the feeling he's just been brought in as prospect fodder. Uh, Austin Bashi wanted to, the one UFC wanted to make a bit of a star of him, or try to anyway, I think, and they need to get it back on track after his losing debut effort. But in any case, he should get through this one quite comfortably. So first round sub for Austin Bashi, and uh, with that, that concludes the sixth round draw. All of you have got fighters that I think are going to win. So just to reiterate those names, C. Collins 44 with Rodolfo Vieira, D1 D4 K10 with Carol Rosa, Foghorn Sam with Rinya Nakamura, and Uber Industry with Austin Bashi. Um, yeah, as I said, I think all of them are going to win. Uh, having said that, my predictions lately have been a bit shit, so maybe I've just jinxed it and you're all going to go out. But it's interesting, all four separate fights as well. There's no double ups and there's no head to heads. Uh, this is just everyone fighting their own individual battle. Uh, so I think it's possible we're going to see a repeat of last week when nobody gets eliminated. Um, just to run through the various permutations again, anyway, as it is getting towards the business stage of the competition now, it's obviously two or more go through. We're heading for a seventh round. I think we've been there once before, as I mentioned earlier. I'd have to double check that, but I think we did make it to the seventh once, and if we did, that's definitely where it ended. Of course, if only one is left standing, then they'll win it, and we'll go on to a new game next week. Or if all my predictions are completely wrong and the wheel decides to eliminate everybody, then the wheel will win. And again, also onto a new game for next week. But as it stands, I think all of you are going through again, which would be incredible because that would also mean 92 weeks in a row where no one's been eliminated, which I don't think has ever happened before in this game. Be very surprised if it did. I know we've had a few weeks before when no one's got eliminated, but I don't think it's ever happened 2 weeks in a row. Um, and if it does, then that also means that over the last 3 weeks, only one person would have been eliminated. Uh, but anyway, uh, all I can say is all four of you is well, five if obviously Uber Industry double up alliance, but is good luck with the game, and obviously good luck with your picks on Tapology. If you've got any bets on this card, good luck with those as well. And until next week, so long for now.